This is the second of our lessons on combining like terms. So today our goal is I'm aware of some common pitfalls when writing equivalent expressions, and I can avoid them. And when possible, I can write an equivalent expression that has fewer terms. So what are some common errors? The more we know about common mistakes, the more we can avoid them. First one that comes up a lot, 6x minus x. It's not 6. It's tempting to look at those x's and just take them away. But in reality, 6x minus x means you're taking 6x minus 1x. It's like you have 6 apples minus 1 apple. You are left with just 5x. Okay, another common error that I see often is something like this. 7 minus 2x. That's not equal to 5x. These are not like terms. We just have a 7 and then we have 2 x's. All right, this is a little silly, but my kids are obsessed with this little video. A salamander is not a number, so I'm going to show you a little bit of it.
It has come to my attention that some people think a salamander is a number. This is not true. A salamander is not a number. It is an amphibian. An amphibian looks like this, or even this. A number looks like this, or even this. Tells you
I am a number.
it is still not a number. It is an amphibian. Underlined. Thank you. Salamander is not a number. It's an amphibian. It's an amphibian.
So like this, even if 7 says it's like 2x, you can't just say we have 7 and we take away 2 salamanders and we're left with 5 salamanders. That does not make sense. This is true. All right, how about this one? 7 minus 4 times the quantity x plus 2, that does not equal 3 times the quantity x plus 2. That's something I see a lot as well. We have to multiply before we add or subtract according to the order of operation. So we'd have to use the distributive property and simplify first before we subtract from 7. Okay, look at this expression. 5 minus 2 times the quantity 3x minus x. I would love you to see if you can simplify that on your own, but I also want you to think about what are some mistakes someone would make or are possible to make when trying to write an expression that's equivalent to this one. Go ahead and think about that for a little bit. All right, I wonder how many of you thought about this one. Subtracting 2 from 5 first and getting 3 times the quantity 3x minus x. I wonder if any of you thought of distributing a positive 2 instead of this minus 2, resulting in 5 minus 6x minus 2x. I wonder if any of you thought 3x minus x is 3. Those are all really common errors, so I want you thinking about that. Try to avoid them and see if you can get this right on your own. So when we're writing subtraction, we can write it as adding the opposite to help prevent mistakes when writing an equivalent expression. So here we go. Let's look at 5 minus 2 times the quantity 3x minus x and try to start this with adding the opposite. So I'm going to change this to 5 plus negative 2 times the quantity 3x plus negative x. I could then distribute that negative 2 and rewrite it as 5 plus negative 6x plus positive 2x, since a negative times a negative is a positive. Then I could combine my like terms and call this 5 plus negative 4x, or 5 minus 4x. All right, so thinking about today's goals, do you think that you can avoid some of those common pitfalls and write equivalent expressions that have fewer terms? And remember, a salamander is not a number.